What's up, guys? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and thank you for joining me here for your free picks for the MLS on Saturday, May 25th. Well, guys, another Saturday, another full slate of the MLS games. 14 games on the schedule, kicking off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time and later. We have been doing really, really well with the MLS Free Picks. Last week we went 11 and 3, if I'm not mistaken. We've hit that parlay as well, which is actually two parlays in a row right now. And I do have another parlay for you at the end of this video as well. So stay tuned, guys. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, check out my best bets by clicking the link in the description, and that will get you up to my page where you can sign up. We are also finishing the season in Europe. There's a bunch of free picks for that up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel as well. A couple of parlays, one from me, one from Kirk. And we are slowly getting to that Champions League finale next week and the Conference League as well. Without further ado, everyone, let's get this show on the road with 14 games. I will try to get through this as quickly as possible. Atlanta and LAFC are facing off. I'm having a very hard time siding with Atlanta right now. Yes, they are coming off of a win, but it was a win after a penalty shootout in the US Open Cup earlier this week. And they will be still without a few of their best players for this game. As far as LAFC goes, they're now on a four-game winning streak where they are averaging 11 scored goals. Well, 11 scored goals in four games. That's an average of almost three scored goals per game. And they also kept three clean sheets in a row. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the case here, but I think that LAFC will score at least two goals in this one. So I'm taking LAFC team total over 1.5 goals at minus 115. Montreal and Nashville is the next matchup, and you know what? When I saw the game, I kind of immediately thought of goals. Defensively, Montreal is one big mess right now. Now, Nashville is not much better. They have been one of the most inconsistent teams in the league so far this season, but they can definitely score goals. So, with all of that being said, guys, I'm taking both teams to score in over 2.5 at plus 122. Charlotte is hosting Philadelphia in the next matchup, and this is another game where I immediately thought of goals. Charlotte is now undefeated in their last four games. They haven't gone over 2.5 in any of those four games. However, Philadelphia is coming off of a win. I think that win against New England last week will carry them, and I think that they will start gaining a little bit momentum with every next game. However, they haven't gone under 2.5 in their last eight games in a row. So, with all that being said, guys, I'm taking the over 2.5 at minus 125. I think both teams will go for the win, especially Philadelphia on the road. And if Charlotte wants to get something out of this game, they will need to try and outscore Philadelphia. DC United is hosting Chicago, and you know what? This Chicago team is basically a dumpster fire. They haven't won any of their last seven games. They are on a four-game losing streak right now, and whether they played at home or on the road, they are one horrible team. Uh, DC United, on the other side, is on a two-game losing streak. However, they ended up losing 1-0 to Inter Miami, which was quite surprising to me that they haven't scored a goal against them. Well, before that, they lost to NYC 4-1 at home. I think the DC United is a solid team. I think they have a great offense. I think they have a decent midfield, and now they're facing the opponent that, let's be honest, is playing really, really bad right now, especially defensively. So this is a game where DC United has to create a lot of chances. They have to be a little bit more effective than they have been over the last couple of games. And I do like them on the money line. It's minus 143. However, that's perfect for a double, not for a single, which is why I decided to stretch this to DC United to win and over 1.5 goals at minus 122. New England is hosting NYC FC, and there's just no betting against NYC right now. They are on a three-game losing streak. They won five of their last four. They're averaging over two scored goals per game, and they are coming off of another win against Red Bulls. So they're playing extremely well right now. I know that they haven't won a game against New England on the road in a while, but New England is a sloppy team right now. They have lost five of their last six defensively. They are one big mess. They have conceded seven goals in their last two games. And because of that, I have to go with NYC on the money line. It's if for nothing else, definitely for the value because plus 172 on one of the top teams in the league right now against one of the worst teams in the league. I don't know what books know, but this doesn't seem normal to me, and I will try and take advantage of it. So I'm taking NYCFC on the money line. Orlando and Columbus are facing off in the next matchup, and I think this is going to be a tight game. We have both teams in a decent form, but we have both teams that are not scoring a lot of goals. Orlando has scored 15 goals. Columbus has scored 19 goals. Defensively, Columbus has been one of the best teams with only 13 conceded goals. And that brings me to the conclusion that this is going to be a slow start game. I think that if anything is going to happen, it's going to be the second half. And because of that, I'm taking first half draw at plus 120. Toronto is hosting Cincinnati, and this is a game where they could potentially go for the win. Toronto is now back again on the two-game winning streak. They have destroyed Montreal 5-1 last week. Bernardeschi is playing probably his best season since he got to MLS. He scored 6 goals in 13 games for Toronto already this season. Insigne is back in the lineup. He's playing well. And I think this is going to be a fun game. Although now I see Bernardeschi is suspended because of the yellow cards, but that doesn't matter. I think that they have what it takes to get to the scoreboard against the best team in the league, which is Cincinnati, who are on a huge, huge winning streak. So I'm going to go with both teams to score at minus 161. Dallas and Salt Lake are facing off in the next matchup. And you know what? Salt Lake is also one of the top teams in the league. They have scored 27 goals in 14 games so far this season. While Dallas, they're slowly heating up and they are now undefeated in their last 4 games while winning 3 of those 4 games. I think this is going to be a fun game. I don't think that Dallas has the defense to stop Salt Lake, and if they want to get a positive result out of this game, they will have to try and outscore them. I think that they can score a goal definitely, but not keeping a clean sheet. So over 2.5 at minus 122. I think that's going to be my official pick. But maybe both teams to score an over 2.5 might not be a bad look as well for nice plus money. This is just a little bit more conservative and a little bit more on the safer side. So I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals. For our next pick, guys, we're going to go to St. Louis, who are hosting Seattle. And I think this could be a very interesting match. Seattle did won their U.S. Open Cup game against Phoenix Rising earlier this week 2-1. Last week they got a 1-1 draw against Vancouver. However, they had to win that game. They had so many chances. They should have gotten the penalty, yes. Uh, and then in the last few minutes, they conceded a stupid penalty and the red card, and they got a 1-1 draw in the end. St. Louis, on the other side, is playing their best football at home. However, they are now on a two-game losing streak. They have scored only 1 goal in their last 2 games. So they will definitely be on the lookout for a bounce back spot. And I think it could happen here against Seattle, who still is trying to find their way, especially when playing on the road, where they haven't been scoring a lot of goals. But their current form, I think it's going to be good enough for them to get to the scoreboard. So I'm going with both teams to score at minus 143. Colorado and Minnesota will be facing off in the next matchup. And as soon as I saw this, my immediate thought was goals. I think we're going to see a lot of goals in this one. Both teams to score in over 2.5, minus 125. I think that's the way to go. Minnesota on their own can get us over 2.5 easily in their current form. But Salt Lake is playing really well. Not Salt Lake. Colorado, my apologies. They are scoring a lot of goals. They are scoring them consistently, and I think that they will contribute to this game as well. And because of that, both teams to score in over 2.5 at minus 125. LA Galaxy is hosting Houston, and I'm gonna keep this one very very simple, guys. Galaxy has been a little bit sloppy. They have been struggling a bit with scoring goals, but I think this is gonna be a nice spot for them to get a win against Houston, who is not doing that well on the road against a team that is not in a great form overall. And at the price we are getting on the Galaxy on the money line at minus 118, we have to take advantage of it. I'm not even going to try to push this to over 2.5, 1.5, or something like that. I'm simply taking LA Galaxy on the money line as they are the better team and they are playing at home. Portland and Kansas is another matchup where I expect a bunch of goals, if I'm being honest. The defense is something unknown to these two teams right now. They are conceding a lot of goals. Portland coming off of a loss against Minnesota 2-1. Kansas did get a 4-0 win against Tulsa in the US Open Cup. However, when playing on the road in the MLS, they haven't won a game in a long, long time. And I don't know, maybe they can get it here against this Portland team, but I would not count on it. I think the goals are the way to go with this one. So both teams to score in over 2.5 goals at minus 128. That is going to be my pick for this game. San Jose is hosting Austin in this derby, a bit of a derby, let's call it a derby on the West Coast. San Jose actually has been showing some signs of life, but right now they are on a 3-game losing streak. While on the other side, you have Austin, who is on a 2-game winning streak, the team that lost only one of their last 6 games, and we are getting them at a lot of value here, guys. I know that San Jose has a few injured players, so does Austin, but we have to go with a better team in a better form. It's quite simple. Austin or draw. So Austin on the double chance, it's at plus 100. I will be taking that, but I will also be putting half a unit on Austin on the money line. I would not be surprised, not even a little bit, if they get a clean sheet here against this. I would say a very bad form wise, a very bad team that is San Jose Earthquakes. The last pick of the day is Vancouver and Inter Miami. This game is being played at Vancouver, and I already read earlier today that Messi, Busquets, and Suarez will be not traveling with the team, and they will not be playing in this game. Now that is a huge, huge blow to Inter Miami. So to keep it simple, guys, I'm gonna go with Vancouver on the money line. No, the price is not plus 160. I messed that up. I do apologize. It's minus 128 on Vancouver on the money line. They got a 1-1 draw against Seattle. They are due for a nice performance. And I think it's gonna come at home here against Inter Miami, who is missing their three-star players. And even though they have a lot of talent left in this roster, I honestly don't think it's going to be enough. They are so used to having these three guys in their lineup that making a big change like that is going to be a big deal. And they're playing on the turf. So that's going to be another problem for this Inter Miami team. So to keep it simple, guys, like I said, I'm taking Vancouver on the money line at minus 128. Now that we are done with the single picks, guys, I do have a parlay for you. It's a four-leg parlay. Charlotte versus Philadelphia over 2.5 goals. Colorado versus Minnesota over 2.5 goals. I'm taking Galaxy on the double chance. And Portland versus Kansas over 2.5 goals as well. Four-leg parlay plus 467. Let's make it three in a row, guys. Let's have another great evening with the MLS picks. Feel free to leave a comment. Have a great day. Good luck with all of your bets, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.